No, she's not. Let's go. Is it 5:45? Let's go. Let me see. Al?
Did you get my message?
You still?
Can we make this go fast?
Oh, I ain't, I ain't talking to her.
It's that one in the screen.
You okay, Dr. Joseph?
No, she's not. She's sick as well. Yeah. Committee meeting will come to order.
Can you hear us?
Personnel committee. Roll call.
Giselle,
She's absent.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. George Porter,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Miranda Watson. Here. Ms. Donna Jackson.
Mr. Travis to serve in, and will you serve as the chairperson since Ms. Bell is not here?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
First item of business, well, sorry. Yeah, we didn't call roll. First item is receive personnel updates and workforce dashboard, Ms. Miranda.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, so we'll get started with the personnel report. As you can see, we did have 2 new hires this past month. We were able to shift one of our other teachers into another position. And you can also see that we now have an official principal at the high school. And so we're very excited about that. We are still advertising for those vacancies that you see listed on each school site. Like I said, we're still advertising for it and doing our best to get those positions filled. If you look at the dashboard report, I gave you 2, one for this year and one for last year. And you can, if you look at them, as you read over it, you can tell that pretty much the numbers pretty much stays the same in our area. You know, like I said, we work very hard on trying to get our positions staffed and also work with our teachers for their certifications. And so we're still doing that. While our numbers, if you look from last year, we had a few teachers to finish their cohort with I Teach. And some of them are still here, some have moved on, some have service agreements to continue to work with us. But we're also trying to recruit more teachers to get enrolled in those programs so that they can become highly certified in their craft and have that skill set that they need to provide that equitable instruction in the classroom. One high note, we haven't had any more resignations. Our resignations still look the same at the bottom of the page for this year. Do you have any questions about anything on either report? Thank you so much.
We don't have to vote on anything there, do we? That concludes the personnel committee.
Budget and Finance Committee will come to order.
Mr. Giselle,
Absent.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Absent.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Ashley Castle, Ms. Tracy Womack,
Present. And we'll have Mr. Hughes and Mr. Travis serving on this one. I'll be the chairperson. First item, receive and consider for approval 2024-2025 school food service products, milk and milk products, bread and bread products, fresh fruits and vegetables, monthly quotes, frozen products, processed foods, paper supplies and chemical products, waste disposal services, and pest control services.
Good evening, Board and Committee.
Good evening.
Just to give you a rundown on the school bids for 2024-25. In the milk category, we had 3 bids and 3 bids returned. Bread, 2, 1 returned. Frozen's 1 and 1. Processed 1 and 1. Paper, we had 15 and 10 returned. Waste, we had 3 with 2 returned. Pest control, we had 3, and I make that correction, with 1 return. All right, I'm asking the board, before I ask the board for approval, it is one bid. I gave everybody a breakdown. We had open bids on Tuesday, the 9th, and all bids was read aloud. The two candidates was Waste Management and Waste. As you can see, there's a breakdown on this bid, whereas Waste Management was like 3,500 and, I'm sorry, Waste Management was 3092 and Amways was 3524, which was a difference of $423.33. The only, my concern is the special pickups for each school, whereas Amways was charging $50 and $80, and Waste Management was charging $246 and $330. I would like to ask the board what they think, but I feel that it would be more cost efficient because we do on Tuesday, mostly on Tuesday, we do extra dump because last time they pick up, it'll be on Fridays, and they pick up again on Tuesday. So with the overflow with grab and go, breakfast in the classroom, there's a big overflow of trash. So because Waste Management bid is $432 less than Amways, I'm banking this on the pickups, because if we do 2 pickups of them, that would overrule the bid. It'll be more higher than the bid. So like I say, everything was open and everybody knew what the bids were. And also, I have, everybody got a booklet, and in that booklet it breaks down all the bids and what was bidded on, what the price was, competition at your discretion. Take a few minutes to, a moment or later on and look at it. But this is the bid I need help on from the board. So I would like to have some recommendations of what you think, what you feel on it.
Can I say something, Jane?
Sure you can.
Our legal advisor's here right now. Could you
Okay.
run that through to him just for a second?
Okay. Okay, Mr. McKay, we had our waste bid, and one company, which was Waste Management, their bid, and let me give you one.
I will say that to the extent that the bid, that bids have been submitted, if there's any question about a bid, then we should take this up in executive session. If it does involve that, as far as any potential challenge. So does it involve that? Do you know? Yeah. So I recommend that if necessary tonight, we entertain a motion to go into executive session to address that then.
All right, so we'll,
I see some waste management people out here. Do you think maybe we want to hear what they got to say before we go into executive session?
Well, I tell you that's certainly at the discretion of you all. I mean, in terms of making a decision one way or the other, I'm just hearing it the first time now, so they can certainly make a statement. I'd recommend that we not say anything. We just listen to what they have to say.
Exactly.
And go from there.
Yeah.
you want to hear what they have to say?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what they got to say.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Donald Haynes of Waste Management. I'm the municipal market manager for WM in Baton Rouge, and we're a service provider that covers St. Helena Parish. Well, we submitted our proposal in good faith and priced it appropriately. I think there might have been a little bit of confusion around the definition of an extra pickup. I think it was viewed as a overage instead of a return to service a container. What we would respectfully ask is that you review that and possibly table it or review it and put it on pause for this bid, if you're considering that, if that is something you're considering. But we proposed it as it was priced, like it was a extra pickup, meaning a service where we would have to return to the container either at the same day or the next day to service the can a second time, which would require a truck to go off route to service the can again. Typically, when you have a bunch of overages, if you've had a provider that's had a lot of overages and you have to worry about that, you might not have enough service. You might not have the right amount of frequency. You shouldn't have to call a provider back, usually. So, any questions for me?
You were asking us to, you're asking us to pause it. Are you asking us to rebid?
Well, yeah, we were asking to review it in that light, that we viewed the definition of a extra pickup as we are returning to the container to service the container, and that's why we priced it that way. Meaning, even if we were in Livingston Parish or Tangipahoa Parish, you're calling us back to come and service that can either the same day or the following day, whether we were on route in St. Helena or not. And that's why it's priced appropriately. It seems like there might have been a little bit of confusion because it wasn't defined in the bid,
So y'all
an
did-
extra pickup.
So I'm sorry. So this question wasn't asked or answered prior to now?
No, I don't believe it was it? Yeah.
No, it was never asked because we view it as an extra pickup like he's describing it, but what it's sounding like it's an overage on the container. So we call what he's talking about, leaving and coming back to pick it up, an extra pickup. What I think the miscommunication was is it's just labeled what you guys would have labeled it because you don't have the same.
I think you need to come before the podium and speak.
Yeah, sure.
Ms. Cheney, I believe that I needs to speak to come before the podium.
Yep. Cameron, I work with Waste Management. I put the bid together. So whenever we were looking at it, it didn't seem to be an issue because it was labeled as an extra pickup. So if I was speaking to any of my customers, that's what I would classify it as. But what it's seeming like you guys were labeling it as was an overage charge, which is a completely different verbiage in our world. And that was the miscommunication, I find.
Okay, we'll discuss it in.
I have a question.
Sure.
So if there were any kind of questions or any kind of concerns that you had about the wording of the bid,
Yeah.
did you speak with Ms. Tracy about that?
No, ma'am, I didn't, because at the time it seemed like I understood what it was. And once it came to light today that it was an overage and not an extra pickup, this is why I was here today, but I guess that's on us. Sorry.
And so knowing that it's on you, you're asking for this board to table the bid?
Yeah, I would like to, yeah, I think so.
Okay, what would be the purpose of tabling the bid? Because if we table it, the discussion that we'll have is, of course, will be an
Dr.
executive session, but, what is your ultimate goal?
Dr. Joseph,
We're going to address this in executive session, so I don't.
Right, I understand that. I guess my question for them is, what's their ultimate goal? Just to table?
Well, Dr. Joseph, our ultimate goal was to price it appropriately and to win your service, and we priced it based on what we interpreted the service was.
all right, thank you. Dr. Joseph, we're gonna discuss this in executive session.
I move we go into executive session.
Can we go into executive session now? We gotta wait till the regular board meeting.
Let's refer this to the full board.
Okay.
And then go into executive session.
We can entertain a motion for the board meeting for the executive session.
Yeah.
Because I never saw a committee go into executive.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We definitely have to wait till the
Okay.
regular board meeting. we're just gonna table this item for the time being, and then we're gonna refer it to the full board. Can I get a motion to table this item and
Wait a
refer it to
second.
the full board?
Wait a second. If we just refer the thing to the full board, not making no decision,
We're not.
we don't have to table. If we table it, we'll have to come back as a committee.
Well, you could refer it to the full board. You can give me a motion.
I move we refer this to the full board.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Travis, second by Mr. Hughes, that we refer this to the full board. Any questions? No questions? Roll call vote on this one, please, ma'am.
Virginia Bell,
No, Mr. Travis?
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Travis.
Yes.
3-0, motion carries.
All right, the next item is to receive information on comparison of leasing lift bus or purchase an approved option.
Good evening, committee. As you all are aware, we leased a lift bus from Ross Bus Sales. The last lease was from 2019 to 2024, and the lease is about to expire. The total cost of the lease at that time was $92,500 over a course of 5 years. The new proposal would cost us $144,000. It has gone up 64%, from $18,500 to $28,800 a year. I asked them to send us information on what it would cost to purchase a bus, and the purchase cost with all of the options, that includes air and everything else, and there may be some options that can be deleted, but with all of the published and unpublished options, the purchase price is $142,684, which a price difference would save the district $1,315. So at this time, I'm suggesting that I'm recommending that we purchase the bus, because in addition to the lease cost, we are also responsible for repair and upkeep. So, we're basically keeping up their bus that when we return it, they do a few repairs and then they sell it. So at the end of the 5 years, we own it. Any expenses on it the bus belongs to us.
I move we purchase a new bus and refer that to the full board.
Motion by Mr. Travis that we purchase a new bus, second by Mr. Hughes. Any questions? Vote.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Alvin Travis.
Yes.
3-0, motion carries.
All right. That concludes the Budget and Finance Committee.
I don't see anything for the policy committee,
Building and Ground.
so I'm going to go to building and grounds. Building and grounds committee's called to order.
Mr. Alvin Travis,
Here.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Mr. Edward Gelman,
Okay. First item is discuss the potential of establishing a partnership with the St. Helena Parish Police Bureau to redevelop Pine Grove school site into a recreation area.
First, before I begin, I'd like to ask Mr. Hughes, did you have any information that you'd like to share with the board about this particular partnership?
No, not no additional information. I didn't talk to one. I think you talked to him since I did. I didn't talk to Warren.
You haven't talked, okay. So, I had a meeting with Devon Matthews about 2 weeks ago now, to talk about a potential partnership with the police jury, centered around the Pine Grove site. As you all know, we were going to use that site as a way to, as an attraction for the bats, right? We have the second largest bat colony in the state of Louisiana at that site. And we were wanting to, get it all cleaned up and use it as a tourist attraction. However, there was some, and we were going to use what's called a brownfield funding. That's a grant that we've been able to apply for that would help get the area cleaned up. But because of some technical things that was going on with the school system and Greenfield, we don't qualify for that particular funding. However, the police jury does qualify for the funding. And there goes the, trying to put together this partnership. So just preliminary conversations we had. We talked about the bat colony. We talked about, maybe using it as a recreational space, and some other things that we could do with that, with that particular site. So what I'm doing tonight is just bringing it to your attention that we would like to possibly enter into an agreement with the police jury because they will qualify for that Greenfield grant. And so we would work with them, to get the area cleaned up and use it the way we talked about in the past. That we would have it as a tourist attraction for, people to come in and witness the bat colony and also be able to, just enjoy themselves out there. So do you have any questions about anything with the partnership? Right now, like there's, as far as like any other details or, moving forward with anything, we haven't filled out any paperwork, we haven't done any of those things except have the conversation about what that partnership may look like in the future.
You talking about tearing stuff down there or not? At Pine Grove? You talking about tearing some of the buildings down or?
No, that main building where the bat's at, we would have to leave that space alone. Because, we don't want to disrupt that ecosystem, but cleaning up all of the area around that building would be a really good thing. That's what we would need to do in order to make it the attraction that we want it to be.
Yeah, because if we go to tearing it down, then we have the asbestos abatement deal. That's
right. No, we don't want to. I don't want, and I want to make that clear that I do not want that building torn down. I feel like that building should be cleaned up. Maybe look more attractive, but all of the grounds surrounding it should be cleaned up, and that would require the funding from the Greenfield grant. And that's where the police jury will come in to provide that, that assistance on that end.
So will we have a written agreement with them stating that they're to exclude that particular building?
We don't have any agreements with them right now. Like I said, we're just having the, preliminary conversations. But no doubt that would absolutely have to be in the agreement that that building would not, well, I'm not going to say not be touched, but it would need to be cleaned up, and that we would not disrupt the bats that are that's housed in that building.
Well,
it would be a real tourist attraction for St. Helena.
We need this police jury to show up to a meeting so we
Yes,
can talk.
I would agree.
This is the second time it's come up and nobody's here.
I agree.
If they really
Well,
want
the
it.
first time we did have to table it because no one showed up, and then then here we are the second time. I did speak, like I said, with Devon Matthews, and then I also had a conversation with Mr. Warren McCray, who is a police juror, and he's on board with everything. I think it would be a good partnership because, like I said, we don't qualify for the funding that's available, but the police jury would. So we would, leverage that partnership so that we can access those funds and get the job done.
Aren't these the same people we couldn't get to fix a culvert for us?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Maybe we should go to them if they don't,
Yeah,
they
let's
don't
go
seem
to the police jury, man. I've never been.
Yeah, they
to one.
don't seem to want to come to us. Maybe we should go to them.
When's their next meeting?
The Tuesday.
Mr. Hughes, is that what you're hearing as well when you talk to Mr. McCray, or? Anyone at the police jury?
Mr. McCray, he's the one recommended, but we
But you got 6 other jurors that we need to come
Yeah, we
through.
need
So I think, Dr. Joseph, what we need to do is probably schedule a date to go and be
Get on there.
present
Let's
at that
get on-
meeting.
Let's get on their agenda.
That's right. I'll agree. I'll go.
I'll go.
All right.
So are we going to the police jury?
That's right. We're gonna,
We done tried 2 months to get them to come here.
People ask for funds, we can ask for funds.
let's go. Hey,
Make them nervous. Don't make them nervous. Okay, we agreed to go.
can we get a motion to,
I'm the president.
Yeah, you so moved?
Yeah.
That, who?
Mm.
You go-
It's been moved and seconded that we go to the next police jury meeting and bring this up. I don't think we can vote on it.
No, but we're gonna make a statement to them, see what
Yeah.
they want.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. You can go with us? Dr. Joseph?
Cliff?
She can't hear no more.
She's
ignoring me.
But
You gotta talk in the mic.
Oh, that thing.
Okay, talk.
You gonna go with us?
Well, of course.
See there, she still can't hear me. Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Joseph,
Yes.
the question is, are you going to the police jury meeting with us? That answer?
I can go to the police jury.
Oh,
meeting for
okay.
you.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that concludes Building and Grounds Committee.
Call them, get it on the meeting, agenda for the police jury, the next meeting, tell them to school board wanna come.
Education.
Education.
Committee.
I don't know who that is.
Education committee come to order?
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Absent.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Absent.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Leah Valdez, Ms. Latia Brown. Here. Ms. Angela Strickland, Ms. Christy Nettles. Here. Dr. Joshua John Paul, Ms. Singleton,
Ms. Porter and Mr. Hughes. Me. Receive and consider for approval 2024-2025 professional service contract with Lincoln Educational Service LLC to provide assistance to SPED department.
Yeah, so we, as you know, you may not be aware, we did lose our self-contained teacher at the high school. And Dr. Strauss was already doing work for us. And so now he has taken responsibility for that class. And so we need for his contract to reflect the additional work that he's doing. And so I'm asking that the board approves the revised contract. I think this is the third time it's coming before you all, because he's taken on even more, he's taken on additional duties. So I'm asking for you all to approve the revised contract.
I so moved.
Motion by Ms. Porter, second by Mr. Hughes. The questions? Vote?
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. George Porter,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
3-0 motion carries.
All right. Moving on, we're gonna move right on into our board meeting. Mr. McPherson. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. George Porter,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Absent.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Absent.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Present.
4 members present, 2 absent.
Item B, approve minutes and agenda from March 14, 2024 committee meeting, March 14, 2024 regular board meeting, March 26, 2024 special meeting, and the current agenda with the exception of item number 3 from the Budget and Finance Committee. Can I get a motion that we approve those collectively?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Porter, second by Mr. Hughes. Any questions? No question shall pass by general consent. Item C, new business, superintendent's report. Superintendent's report.
Yes, good evening, board members, good evening, community. I'd like to just start off, if the principal, I think Mr. McPherson is there. Do you have your presentation you'd like to share with the board, Mr. McPherson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
My baby.
Do you have a,
Yes, ma'am. I emailed it to you.
you can send it to me and I can put it up.
I might get me some Takis tonight.
You choosing what?
Working for me some Takis, like the kids.
It was, I think it just sent to you. Right, so we'll start off with celebrations and an overview of our celebrations and our previous events. As you can see in the next slide, you'll see that we did, thanks to Dr. Joseph and Mrs. Castle and our phenomenal school district staff, we were able to provide all of our teachers who met our benchmark goals with their gift cards. They were fortunate that it was, it wasn't hit by taxes, so they were really grateful for that, and we blessed them with it. And so I just thank the district for letting us incentivize all of our teachers. They were really ecstatic, and that just generated a lot of excitement with the teachers and with the learners on the campus. Next, I'd like to show you our writing data. We have been, as mentioned in our targeted action plan, we are keeping up with our weekly writing workshop data. So what I have now is data that is comprised of 3rd through 6th grade learners from week 1 to week 4. I did tier it with learners that are below level, learners that are on level, and learners that are above level. I would like to thank Dr. Joseph, Mrs. Nettles, and Dr. John Paul in his absence for making sure that we have all of our materials and our logistics readily available for our teachers. So we did make some changes, which I'll mention from week 3 to week 4. But as you see, I'll just mention some of the trends. The percentage of learners above and on grade level increased from week 1 to week 3. The percentage of learners above or on grade level decreased from week 3 to week 4. It went from 87% to 81%. And the percentage of learners below is lower than the learners above, than those above or on grade level from week 1 to week 4. And what it is comprised of, they do get a passage. It's the same passage from 3rd through 6th, and they implement the race strategy. And a lot of different subjects, we're using a lot of different rubrics to evaluate their writing, but we just stuck with race across the board, and that really made a difference. From week 1 to week 2, our percentage went up by multiple 100% once we got all of the logistics in place. And you'll see a slight decline from week 3 to week 4 because we were allowing our learners to complete a physical rough draft on paper and then transfer it to the computer, but just like they would be on the LEAP exam, they're not going to really have enough time to do that. So that's why we wanted to get them acclimated to the rubric, acclimated to the process, but then we want to push them to being able to complete their own drafts on the computer. So that's why you saw that steep decline, not steep decline, slight decline, excuse me. So next steps, we did tier our learners, and I'll mention that in our next slide. when it's pertaining to LEAP testing. We did tier our learners based on their proficiency levels off of their writing data and off of their most recent benchmark data. So all of the learners who are right at the edge of going to the next achievement level, we did group them together. So that way we could still provide all of our learners with differentiated instruction, but we just wanted to have more specialized and aligned support. And we did want to adapt these skills covered to their daily content and instruction. Of course, these learners will be reading multiple passages on the LEAP exam, and it just won't be one. So we wanted to make sure that we maximize and leverage all of the success and growth that we saw.
Mr. Gibson, can you speak into the microphone, please?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Is it better?
Apparently not.
Doc, can you hear him?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So we did want to maximize on the growth that we're seeing with this writing passage, because they are going to be exposed to multiple passages, and our third grade learners, being that they're tested on paper still, they are still going to complete their writing passages on paper, and the teacher is great, and we're excited. Thanks to Dr. Joseph, she's the mail merge queen, so we're getting all of our letters, and the teachers put them in J Campus, and the parents get the letters each week to track their learners' progress. And we do see some parents posting their letters on Facebook, and they're able to see the growth as well. So we're going to see how we can do this at the beginning of next year, because our teachers are excited about it, but we're going to make sure that we take the burden off of our district staff as much as we can. I'll go to our final slide, which is speaking on LEAP testing. Yes, LEAP testing. Our third and fourth graders will be stepping up to the plate next Wednesday, and all of our teachers and all of our staff members, all of our parents did receive packets with the 55 most critical verbs. We did that back in February, and just things that they can do with their learners and their kids at home. So we have all of these dates. We have been sending papers home. We're advertising it on social media so everyone can know that we are serious about getting our 15 points. As you can see in our bullets, we have been engaging in frequent mock testing, and this has been very vital, working with our technology department to ensure that we don't have any hiccups. And thanks to Ms. Trinice Jackson, she has a great plan. We have brand new laptops that we're just going to use solely for testing, and tomorrow we're going to test that out with our fourth graders, being that they'll be computer-based testers. We have been engaged in professional development. A few weeks ago, we did end the school day early, and we had 4 days of really intense professional development where we tiered our learners, we analyzed exit tickets, and we looked at our SLTs. And I'm glad that our teachers are able to see it's not just the classroom observation scores that determine your effectiveness, it's that VAM and how the learner's output affects your score as well. So that was a light bulb moment, and it was really great to see all of our early learning center teachers who aren't familiar with LEAP testing, from a direct standpoint. They were able to see how what they're doing in their classes affects them as well. So it was really great for us to, kind of brainstorm together. Like on the third bullet, you'll see online testing tools training. This has been very key for our fourth graders, because this is the first year that they will be engaged in online testing. So our teachers have been going through that with ELA, math, and science, and we're also going to refresh our 5th and 6th grade learners as well. I did state that we are issuing parent packets again monthly, just so that they can have some type of ownership in their child's success. A lot of times as you get higher in the grade, the rigor gets a lot, and they always tell us, this is the new math, this is the new ELA, this is the new science. But we just want to give them some things that they can do at home where they don't feel overwhelmed. And thanks to Ms. Nettles and Dr. John Paul, our teachers have been giving protocols so that way they can still engage in daily quality instruction, but they're going to have an opportunity to review all of the priority content that the kids may not have mastered at the start of the year. So that's with their spiral reviews, and we have been in the classrooms supporting teachers even when they're reviewing content, so that way it's not boring and it is maximizing all of our learners' potential. Any questions? Thank you once again for the opportunity to serve in my role. I'm excited to stand before you in a few months where I can speak of all the great growth that we will see on our LEAP assessments. We are aiming to score 15. We are excited and we are pumped and ready to have some winning outcomes. Thank you once again.
All right.
just a couple other things. Mr. McPherson stated that we do have the lead testing window will be opening next week, so we're very excited about that. We really put in the hard work to make sure that our kids are fully prepared. I know that Ms. Strickland is not available for you, but I do want to share with you that some data that she gave me today. As far as our ACT index, we started the year out with our index being 9.8, and it has gone up to now 23.1. So we're really pushing hard to get our kids to pass the ACT and also pass the Work Keys exam. So that is a 10.3 point index. So we're very excited about that. So we're going to continue to push hard to get the 5 points that we need at the College and Career Academy to be a C, and the 15 points needed at the Arts and Technology for that school to be a C. So what we're asking is that all parents rally behind our kids, rally behind the school system, so that our kids can be successful on this test. They need to explain to them the importance of them doing well on this exam. And with that, that concludes my report.
Item E, approved committee reports from April the 11th, 2024. It's going to be item 1 with the exception of item number 3. Can I get a motion to approve those?
I move we approve the committee report.
Motion by Mr. Travis,
I second it.
second by Ms. Porter. Any questions? No questions shall pass by general consent. Item 2, can I get a motion that we go into executive session to deal with item number 3?
I move we go into executive session.
Motion by Mr. Travis, second by Mr. Hughes. No questions. Passed by general consent. We will move into. Can I get that motion that we return to from executive session?
I move.
Motion by Mr. Travis, second by Ms. Porter. This meeting is back in session. We're dealing with item number 3. Receive and consider for the approval for the 2024 food service products. Can I get a motion?
I make the motion that we accept what the food service supervisor asks at AM waste bid. That's the one we're going to go with. I make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Porter,
Second.
second by Mr. Hughes. Any questions? No questions? Shall pass by general consent. Next item. Announcement of next meeting date will be May 9th, 2024. Closing comment. Board members. I would just like to say, please, please, please encourage the kids to be at school next week for testing. It's very, very important that the students be present for testing and be on time.
Yes.
And make sure you ask the parents to make sure that they get a good night's sleep. They can get breakfast once they get to school, but make sure that they are well rested. They don't fall asleep doing testing, because I know personally that some of the things that students like to do, they like to sleep when the test's going on. And we cannot have that. We need to stress that to the parents, how important it is that their child is up, alert, and they get a good night's sleep prior to testing. Any other comments, board members? No comments? That final motion. All yeas, this meeting is adjourned.
Oh, Jesus.